bathe in this one power that is not out there, it's not across the street. I think it's over at the Buddhist place as well. I definitely know it's there as well. It is everywhere, and as the song says, it needs no name because it's everything, seen and unseen. There is not a place where this thing called good is not. So that means that right where each and every one of us is in this moment, this incredible power, this one power is expressing as you, as me, as every single life form on this planet and the cosmos and beyond and beyond and beyond. I can feel those God bumps right now. So I am so grateful for the opportunity to stand before you, to stand as you, to stand as me, as one power, and just think, or better yet, just feel what we can do with this one power. And I say yes to it all. I say yes for myself. I say yes for each and every person in this room. I say yes for the entire life form and beyond and beyond. And with that, I am grateful. I release it as law, meaning that it is the law, so it is demonstrated as such. And so with that, I get out of the way. I release it. I let it be. As together we affirm as one power, and so it is.
Let's all sing one power. One power, one power, one power, one power. One power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness, the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration, the sunshine on your face, the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. What we are is one power. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power.
All right, so...
I like that little howling thing we were just doing just then.
Woo-woo.
Not too many centers I know howl and do all that kind of stuff. Just saying, just saying. So this month is all about listening. Ooh. You know, that little challenge that sometimes we have, listening, listening, listening. So we also have a wonderful affirmation to go with that. And thank you.
1-4.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Diane Decker. And you can probably tell by my lovely outfit today that I'm helping in the kitchen today. What a wonderful way to start the week. I am so blessed.
Yeah.
Where did you get that t-shirt?
Where did I get this t-shirt?
Is it in the bookstore? Oh, just wondering.
So page 232, paragraph 3 is in the chapter called Physical Perfection, and that's why I said that's one of my favorite chapters, because it reminds me of the truth of who I am. It's a long one, so just hang out for it. It is necessary that we release all thoughts as well as things that clutter up our lives. we are reminded that there is something resembling the divine in the intelligence and fearlessness of the organs of our body, in the way they take that which is necessary to their sustenance and well-being, and release that which is not needed. If the organs of the body followed the average tactics of man in his acquisitive habits, if the lungs hoarded the air they take in, if the heart kept the fresh blood stored within its walls, refusing to allow it to circulate, if the stomach retained the food within for nourishment, what a static condition we have. Okay, everybody take a breath in. No, you exhaled.
Hurry.
The very reverse is true. Such perfect assimilation, elimination, and circulation has never been equaled by man in anything he has invented. And so that's a reminder to me of the givingness of spirit to all. Everything we need is already provided, and we don't need to hoard anything. We don't need to keep anything in. We can always give away and share, and there's always enough and to spare for us to give what is given to us. There's no need to hold on. Nothing in nature holds on, right? And that's the divine plan for our life, is to give and receive, to be blessed by what comes to us, and then to allow it to go on to the next. So, thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Diane.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I'll take it.
We have an entire pharmacy right here and right where we are, right? So I know that there are some people here for the very first time, and I only know that because I'm psychic. And the other thing is that there are some people that are here in the space for the very first time. So that's exciting as well. So we're going to honor y'all right here, and right now. So as you probably know, we know some of you, so we know some things about you, but it's been a while, so we're going to kind of let people know what you've been up to, if you know what I'm saying, Dana. I mean, people. Susan, I'm not saying, you know. But anyways, we're going to let you know your true identity. You ready? You are magnificent.
Yes.
You are magnificent. How do we know that, Rita?
We know it because we know it about ourselves. At least we want to know it about ourselves, maybe, but we do know it about ourselves right in this moment. So let's put our hands on our hearts and let ourselves know who we are.
I am magnificent.
What a perfect affirmation.
And if we want to join together as a community right here, we are magnificent.
Yes.
And just when you thought it was safe to be done, there's a camera in the back of the room. And what it's letting us know is that there's some folks on the mainland and actually on this island that just didn't want to get up and come down here. So but we know that they're there, so we don't want them hiding anymore because it's really tight in that little box back there. So let's let them know who they are, shall we? You are magnificent. Woohoo! Yes. Now look to your left, to your right, somewhere, and let somebody know they're magnificent. Bob, you are magnificent. Anne's but oh, and Karen, you're magnificent. You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
You are magnificent. There we go.
You are magnificent.
You are
magnificent.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
She is. She's magnificent too.
All right, we're gonna invite. Have to do this a little different. We're going to invite Melissa, one of our practitioners, up to do a blessing of the land, and then we have something after that. So we'll let her do her thing first. No, she needs it.
Sorry.
Okay. Every Sunday we
bless
the land that we're on here.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
So I've discovered online love letters to the earth written by the Vietnamese Buddhist monk and Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. So I've been reading them over the weeks and months. So I'm going to read another one today. Dear Mother Earth, you are this infinitely beautiful blue planet, fragrant, cool, and kind. Your immeasurable practice and endurance makes you a great bodhisattva. Even though we've made many mistakes, you always forgive us. Every time we return to you, you are ready to open your arms and embrace us. Whenever I am unstable, every time I lose touch with myself, or I'm lost in forgetfulness, sadness, hatred, or despair, I know I can come back to you. Touching you, I can find a refuge. I can reestablish my peace and regain my joy and self-confidence. You love, protect, and nurture all of us without discrimination. You have an immense capacity to embrace, handle, and transform everything that is cast at you, whether it be great asteroids, refuge and filth, poisonous fumes, or radioactive waste. Time helps you do this, and your history has shown that you always succeed, even if it takes millions of years. You were able to reestablish equilibrium after the devastating collision that created the moon, and have endured at least 5 mass extinctions, reviving yourself every time. You have an extraordinary capacity to renew, transform, and heal yourself, and also us, your children. I have faith in your great power of healing. My faith comes from my own observation and experience, not from something others have told me to believe. That's why I know I can take refuge in you. As I walk, sit, and breathe, I can surrender myself to you, trust wholly in you, and allow you to heal me. I know I don't have to do anything at all. I can simply relax, release all the tension in my body, and all the fears and worries in my mind. Whether I'm sitting, walking, lying down, or standing, I allow myself to take refuge in you and allow myself to be held and healed by you. I entrust myself to you, Mother Earth. Each one of us needs a place of refuge, but we may not know how to find it or how to get there. Looking deeply today, I can see that my true home, my true place of refuge is you, my beloved planet. I take refuge in you, Mother Earth. I do not have to go anywhere to find you. You are already in me, and I already in you. Dear Mother and Mother Kauai, each time I sit in stillness on your earth, I will be aware that because you are in me, I can embody your wonderful qualities of solidity, perseverance, patience, and forbearance, of depth, endurance, and stability, of great courage, non-fear, and inexhaustible creativity. I vow to practice wholeheartedly to realize these qualities, knowing that you have already sown these potentials as seeds in the soil of my heart and mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are blessed to live on this earth and to live on this beautiful island. Mahalo keakua, mahalo nui loa. And so it is.
All right, I'm going to invite Kyle and Louise to come up. So last week for our spiritual cinema, we showed a film called One Life. And it was about a gentleman, Nicholas Winton, who took 679 children out of Czechoslovakia and brought them to England before Hitler took over that place and saved their lives, basically. And after the film, we had a beautiful conversation, a few of us, and it was you. Stream just said, we just need to put an end to war. We just need to be done with it. And when he said it, I was like, why don't we think that's possible? Why don't we think that's possible? And then Glenn said, well, yes, but we need to stop the wars inside ourselves. And I was really touched by that whole thing and the idea that this is the month of peace. And I remembered a song from when I was a little girl back in the 60s called Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream. and it was sung by different people, Simon Garfunkel, Pete Seeger, Joan Baez, and whoever knows what else. And I thought this month we would just sing that song, and actually we come together here every Sunday to know how powerful our minds are and how only anything that's happening for us is happening through us with the power of our consciousness. So why not just get together and really visualize that idea that war could be over? And with everything happening on the Gaza Strip right now, and everyone's crying out for, you know, for it to be over, Ukraine, all these things that are happening in the world, it's time. And this is the time of Galileo for us, where he was like saying, you know, the earth is not the center of the universe, the sun is, and nobody believed him, and everybody fought him and imprisoned him in his house and all of that kind of stuff. This is our Galileo time to say that cooperation is really, and collaboration is really the power that we have, other than competition and fighting. So I just think we have to just stick to it and really visualize it. So, and do it in our own life. So let's sing this song together with that in mind, all right? Kyle will lead us, and you have the words.
Last night I had the strangest dream I'd never dreamed before. A dream that all the world agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room. The room was filled with people, and the papers they were signing said they'd never fight again. And when the paper was all signed and 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads. Grateful prayers they prayed. The people in the streets below were dancing round and round, while swords and guns and uniforms were scattered to the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream I've ever dreamed before. I dreamed that all the world agreed to put an end to war. And I dreamed I saw a mighty room. The room was filled with people, and the papers they were signing said they'll never fight again. And when the paper was all signed and 1,000,000 copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads. Grateful prayers they prayed. All the people in the streets below were dancing round and round, while swords and guns and uniforms scattered to the ground. Last night I had the strangest dream. Last night I had the strangest dream I've ever dreamed before. I dreamed that all the world agreed to put an end to war. Oh, last night I had the strangest dream I've ever dreamed before. I dreamed that all the world agreed to put an end to war.
And so it is. I'm going to see that in my lifetime. You feel it? It's coming. And we just have to keep believing and knowing and seeing it and doing our part, you know. And yeah. So, God, I feel really emotional about it. So our topic this month is listen, and today our theme is listen up. And I thought about this a lot this week. What does that mean to listen up? And some of us might remember kind of the negative connotation of it, or if you want to call it that, when somebody, you say something like to your parents and they're like, listen up, listen up. And then they tell you, or whoever tells you what they think that, you ought to be doing or whatever. But I'm not thinking about that, really. I'm thinking more of listening up. Listening up. Like, I think that's one of the things that would probably help the most in stopping the wars within ourselves and with each other, is if we could really actually listen to what somebody was actually not saying necessarily, but what they were really saying, like really hearing what they're saying. Sometimes people say things and they cry out because they just want to be listened to. People just want to be heard. Sometimes people do things that aren't so nice because they just want to be heard. And they don't know how else to do it. They don't know what else to do besides to strike out. And I know I've been in that position where somebody says something to me and like my trigger, it hits a trigger in me and I don't even hear what they're saying necessarily. I really only hear what I heard coming from where I am. And that's the truth of it too. When we listen, we are only listening from where we're at. We can only hear what our beliefs are and our consciousness knows. Somebody could be saying something and it has a completely different meaning, but because we are, our consciousness is in this certain place, we hear it wherever our consciousness is. So it's like whatever you're hearing is because of what you are believing. And if you go back and back and back and back, you'll find that maybe, when you were a child, you had some sort of collapse of a belief, like somebody said something to you. I think I talked about this last week. And then you carried it forward and you just reacted to everything from that place. So what does it mean to listen up? To me, it means to truly, truly get all of that out of the way. And the only way I know how to do that is through self-love and through compassion for others. But I can't have compassion for others if I don't have compassion for myself. So the more I can just let go of all that stuff that might have happened to me or that I think I learned and I'm carrying it forward and I don't even know. Like I was thinking about my life. Like I was talking to Sue Buckley because I just wrote this book and she's proofing it for me about things that were said to me as a child that I carried forward. And I didn't even know at the time I was doing it. Like I didn't know that I could think consciously. I just lived my life. And I know people that are sitting here are very conscious people. At least I believe you wouldn't be sitting here if you weren't, that like when you're thinking and what you're thinking and how that affects you. Because it sounds really cerebral, but it's really not. It's all we have. All we have is our minds and our consciousness to move our lives. We can move the pieces in the outside world and try to fix things and all of that, but in true reality, if we don't have it in our minds, if we don't think that way, if we don't give ourselves over to that higher way of thinking from love and compassion, especially for ourselves to begin with, then we can move all the pieces in the world of form that we want to, and nothing, it'll happen, but then it will go back to what it was because we didn't change our consciousness. So for me, the only way to really, really make a change in the world, make a change is to start with ourselves, like Glenn said, stop the wars inside, whatever those are. And any war inside would be anything that's telling you that you're less than what you are, because you're so magnificent. We're so magnificent. We have everything in our cells and our DNA, like Reverend Diane read in that quote, that we have this perfect assimilation and elimination process that we've been given within our bodies that will eliminate anything that doesn't serve us and assimilate the things that we need. It's just like we didn't come to Earth without these things. We weren't just dropped here to figure it out. We have it. We already have it. We just have to open up to it. That's why I feel like this teaching and teachings that teach us or help us to learn how to think, not what to think, but how to think, are so powerful at a time like this, to know that we have the power to think those thoughts, those beliefs, and clear out all those beliefs that don't serve us anymore. And I know it is possible because I've done it. But sometimes, but you hate it when I use that word. See, I caught myself, but it's true. Oh my God. It's all right. Anyway, I don't even know what I was going to say now. You got me all off track. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and whatever. Okay, so let me see. I shouldn't have looked at you. Okay, so that's Bob, in case you know what I mean. He always comes up to me after I talk and tells me I shouldn't use the word but. And he's right. But what buts are in the way? I guess we have to look at what buts are in our way for saying that we can't make these changes. We say, yeah, but your butt's in the way of saying, I can't make this change because but I had this thing happen to me when I was a kid, and I'm not going to just let that go. I'm just going to keep that going because it's serving me so wonderfully right now. So I know it's possible because I do it. I do it every day. And it doesn't, and that was my butt. It doesn't, sometimes you end up going back. You go, oh, I thought that I had that. I call it the rising corpse. I thought I already canceled. Remember in the movies when you think the person's dead and the heroine or hero is like, oh my God, he's dead, and all of a sudden the person rises up with something worse than before. Well, I don't even know. I looked it up to see if it was really a term, and it's not. But I call it the rising corpse. It's when you think it's dead. You think it's dead, and it's not, and it's rising up, but not in a good way. I mean, Jesus rose Lazarus from the dead, and that was a good thing, apparently. But I'm talking about those things you think you're over, and then something happens, and you say, oh, I didn't know that was still there. But the thing is, you notice it. That's the whole thing. You notice it. Whereas before, you might not have noticed it. You might have it just might have glossed over, and you just kept going, and you kept going down that path. But now you notice it. Do you know that awareness is the biggest, most beautiful thing for transformation, is when we're aware of what we're thinking? There's a Joe Dispenza meditation, and I'm sorry, I like Joe Dispenza, some people don't, but because he makes a lot of money. Oh, wow, isn't that awful? Okay, so he has a meditation where you have to bring up all the things you don't want to think anymore. And then you say, I'm going to be aware of this when it comes up. And when it comes up, I'm going to be aware of it. And I think that's really important because things do come up in your mind, and if you're not aware of them, you're just going to go down that road with, whatever conversation you're having, whatever, and just not even know. So being aware of it is like the first step. And then the second step is to shift it. Do you know that we have a system within us? Have you ever done this? Everybody does it, right? It's an actual system in our consciousness, in our body, that allows us to recalibrate. So when you do that, like Patrick's always calls me what do you call me, a blowhole dolphin or something? It's like, why are you doing that? Now I realize why I'm doing it. Every time, dolphin, he thinks I'm a dolphin. Dolphins do that. Anyway, so when you do that, when you do that, you're doing it unconsciously a lot of the time, and it's actually your body recalibrating. Something's happening that's stressing you out or something, and you go, like that. That's what it is. And when you know that that's what it is, you can actually use it, because you can actually do it yourself consciously. You can actually take that breath before reacting and recalibrate and come from a higher place, from a higher listening place. So take that tool with you. If you don't already, you do it. But because it's really helped me a lot. Because there's a lot of times when I just want to I just want to say that, and then I'll just go, okay, I can think from a higher place right now, and that's going to really help this conversation or help what I'm hearing right now so I don't go off the deep end with it. So these are all powerful tools that we have, and it's time to use them. It's time to bring peace to the earth, but we can't bring peace to the earth if we don't have peace in here. So listening up, and then it's like listening to your intuition. Like, what is it really telling you? Do you really even feel like you have intuition? Some people are like, well, I don't know if I'm in touch with my intuition. I don't know, what it's telling me or whatever, but you do, because your intuition will always tell you something helpful. It'll always tell you something. It's not going to be telling you to do something yucky. It's going to be telling you something helpful. And I know a lot of my life was spent not listening to that. And thank God that we're guided and protected and directed for the most part, that when we get off, like when we take a left turn with our lives, we'll end up back where we need to be. Mine was always theater, because theater always brought me to where I needed to be and where I would meet the right people. And when I was in college, I was in my 30s, because I went to college later and I was married already and everything. And I remember, and I might have told this story before, and if I did, forgive me, I was walking down the UNM campus, and I was trying to decide if I was going to take the safe route and become a teacher, or whether I was going to actually go for it and become an actress. And I remember distinctly, I didn't know that was my intuition telling me, but I could feel it in my gut, but I didn't know, and I took the safe route. Now, my life turned out fine, but I took a lot of right turns and left turns and all these turns, and I go, well, who knows what would have happened if you'd taken that route? I don't know, but that's the good thing about life. It always brings you back to where you need to be. And theater would come up into my life. It brought me to this teaching. Theater would come up, and I would be somewhere, and then that was where I would find the next thing. I met him through theater. It's just like, that was my thing. And I couldn't get away from it. So when I talk to my kids, like my son, I go, you'll go back to it someday, because you will go back to it someday, because it is in you. But you're not ready now, so that's fine too. So, intuition. So let's just, take that time to listen, take that time to take a breath, and just know that you're being guided, you're being guarded, you're being directed, you're being protected. That's part of my treatment every day, that I'm guided, I'm guarded, I'm protected, I'm directed all the time by that higher place within myself. And Kyle, you can come up, because I'm almost done, and Lois, because I want to go right into the song, that everything's there for us, and we have the opportunity to listen. We have the opportunity to follow what we listen, to get all those other little extraneous things out of the way that are stopping us from really hearing what's being said to us, and for trusting it and allowing it to move through our life and allow ourselves to have the most powerful, beautiful, amazing lives possible. So just take a deep breath and listen. And as the Dalai Lama said, as you breathe in, cherish yourself. As you breathe out, cherish all beings. Breathe in, breathe out. Take it away, Kyle.
It's like the air around me, like the sunlight on my face. Feel the love of God surround me. I'm touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed, was was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air, and I breathe in. I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, joy to my soul. And I breathe out simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. And I breathe in. I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
I never can grow tired of that incredible song, Nearer Than the Air. So, listen up. I got something to say. No. But that's how I hear it. When we first did that, I was like, listen up. That sounded like they're scolding, you know. And if you look it up, it says, listen up is when you are in command. It's like, listen up. But it's very interesting because I always think of this line that I've used before about, you know, when I'm really, this is important. You know, I always think to myself, they go, are you angry? I go, no, I'm not angry, but I'm not kidding. And I always love that. No, I'm not angry, but I'm not kidding. This is really important to me. It doesn't have to be to you, but it's important to me. So I had this epiphany this week that I wanted to share with you because it was all about nature. And there's kind of a theme going on today, I noticed with the songs and with Reverend Diane, and with this kind of this nature just keeps coming up. And I was on the path. I've started back on my path of when I ran the marathon right before the COVID. I've started to go back to that kind of training again, and I'm loving it. Whether or not it's good for my knees, I don't want to hear you. They go, you sure it's not good, you know? I said, yeah, it's okay. There's not a place where God is not, and God's in my knees. So I kept hearing this thing. I kept thinking, listen up. And I kept hearing, it matters. And I went, it matters. It matters. It matters. I kept hearing that. And I don't hear voices, but I do hear my inner voice when I speak. It says, it matters. I said, what matters? And I heard it as clear as I'm speaking right now. It said, it all matters. It all matters. So I said, say that again. What, you cannot hear? It all matters. And so it all matters. And so I thought to myself, what does that mean? And when you start to put out, do you ever notice when you put out an intention or something you want to know about, do you notice that everything starts to come if you just pay attention? So I was just about to run on the second day, and I kept hearing, it matters. Talk about that, Patrick. And I heard the story of a woman. Her name is Zoe. She wrote Zoe Schlanger, and she wrote Light Eaters. And this is what's so funny about this, Light Eaters. It's about plants. And it's about this whole, how plants react. And how many people are plant people? Yeah. You see, I'm not. So that's why I was wondering why I was contacted. Because I kept going, and it's not that I'm not, but this week really changed my life in that way because I really listened. I'm not what they would call nature boy. I may play one on television, but I'm not really, my feet hurt on the little prickly things on the, and I don't spend all my time in the ocean, and I just, but that's because I live on an island where it's nothing but ocean. So I thought, why am I getting this information? And she was talking about an incredible Stephen Perlman. Do you know who that is? A botanist, very famous in Hawaii. And he has his partner who is Ken Wood. And so she was talking about how his book and his life touched her to help her do her work. And I just thought, why am I so obsessed with knowing more about Stephen Perlman? And what he is he's been doing it for 40 years. He goes around the world and looks at species of plants that are going extinct. And he gets on, the helicopters drop him down and he climbs up the side of cliffs and he's like looking for these little plants that are going extinct. And I started to become interested, and I said, but this is nature, Patrick. Give me a Broadway play. Where's this nature? And I just started really feeling this incredible thing that he goes around and does, him and his partner. And I thought, this is fascinating me. And I thought to myself, they call it plant blindness. That would be me. Like you're just taking it for granted that there's plants out there and you're not really looking. So I started going, oh my God. It was like discovering like I had just landed here from another planet. And I was like, look at all the plants. And I was like, but I'm telling you from a really strong place of discovery for me. And he was talking about the importance of it, like why it's so important that they're going extinct, because these plants could be our medicine, and they have been. They're very important. It's like I went, wow, listen up. Now I get it. Listen up. This is really important. What can I do? And here was the scene that just got me. Let me just get it all out of the way. But. Okay. Just in case I say but, I just wanted to get it all out there. But this is the scene. This is the scene that got me. He had been working with this plant to make sure that it didn't go extinct for about 20 years. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Now, I don't know about you, time goes fast, but 20 years is 20 years to be looking after a little bit of a seedling. And I became so fascinated. So when he went back and he climbed up again, he noticed that it wasn't going to make it. It wasn't going to make it. And he sat there with this plant as it died. He sat with it so that this consciousness of this plant would not have to be alone when it went extinct. There's no other word to say for this, but holy shit. This is powerful. He sat with it, and I couldn't get it out of my mind, right? He said, it's not going to make it. I'll stay with you. Thank you for the thousands of years that you put in to this plant. And he said, I could feel life and all of the past just coming into this one thing. He said it was the same as if my family was dying. And I thought, now that is being in touch with nature. That's how important it all matters. It all matters. Then I even got deeper and brought props. So, it's not a goldfish. I know you, that's what. But I want to talk to you about this rose. Melissa, right here, brings little roses from her garden. And I love roses anyway, but when you smell them, this particular one, it really does take you to another place. It is so sweet. It is so nurturing. And I'm thinking to myself, and I thought, oh my God, everything's alive. Should we cut it? Should we not? You know, I got all into that for a moment because I'm not really a nature boy, so I ask questions like that. And I thought, and I got to talk to the rose. You know, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning with vulnerability hangover because they're going to go, did you see Patrick's talk? He's talking to Rose now. And now I have a Jewish accent. I have no idea. So I'm smelling this. And I thought, thank you. Thank you for giving up your life as you leave us with such a scent. And I thought, that's pure consciousness. It's evolutionary. We just keep changing and we keep growing. And someday, when I'm not here anymore and we're not here, we will have left something, an energy, a scent, something that is just incredible. And I'm not sure if I can go back now, because when I was running before, and I don't mean this negatively or even, you know, to try to be funny, because, you know, I don't like that stuff. But what I was thinking of, I was running by these plants, and I went, I am so sorry that I have not taken a moment to know you're alive. Because they became like sometimes props on a movie set. There was not the connection. Does that make sense? There wasn't the connection that you are me and I am you and you're alive. You are alive. And I went, listen up, it all matters. And then this morning I woke up and I love this quote. Fresh air is as good for the mind as for the body. Nature always seems to try to talk to us as if she had some great secret to tell. And so she has. And I thought, this is where my life has evolved to. Now, will I be out there with Rita in the garden? Chances maybe not. Because that isn't what I'm trying to get across as my message. My message for me is everything matters. Everything you think, it matters. Every smile that you give to a stranger, whether or not you smile or not smile, matters. There's not a thought that goes by in our minds that doesn't not matter. And I'm thinking, I told Rita this morning, I said, I'm thinking of all of these, not from a victimized thing, but so many moments that I have let bypass me that were important. Every moment. This morning when I woke up and I went, it matters. You matter. I matter. Within all of matter is spirit. Within all of matter. So now I cannot look. I even noticed today a bush, when I was walking out, and I noticed that these little white things came out of it, and I was like, well, don't you look pretty today? Like I said, tomorrow morning, when I wake up with that vulnerability hangover, and if you wonder what a vulnerability hangover is, it's when you go, so sensual, so wonderful. And then you realized you did that in front of a lot of people. The people were actually looking at you while you were in this moment. And so that's what could be a vulnerability hangover. So one little plant thing I want to leave you with too is that Hawaii is losing plant species at the rate of 1 per year, when it should be roughly 1 every 10,000 years. Now, I don't say that to scare you. I say that for another reason. We're having a lot of energy, a lot of people telling us to listen up. And listen up, listen up. That's why I am so connected with nature right now. I can't hear more listen up, whether or not they're lies or they're not lies. I have to know the truth for myself. I have to know the nature of my own being. And any question that I need answered, any truth that I need, I do not have to wait for a fact check. I do not have to wait for a fact check. I know. But, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But that was the thing, that's the thing, is that I don't have to wait. I'm thinking, I don't have to wait for anything anymore. Because we have this nature of our being that has the audacity to be so beautiful and say, I will die to leave you my scent. Enjoy. As long as it is, right? Gabriella, I feel like you now. Because she's nature girl, this one. So all I have to say in closing is this. We talk about that we are the nature of God. And however you want to define that word, have at it. But for me, I'm listening up. And I'm going to know that every word that comes out of my mouth, every thought that I think, every behavior that I act from, every way that I treat the world, and I'm going to make plenty of quote-unquote mistakes, and I'm going to own them. I'm going to own them just like all these wonderful plants out here saying, and yesterday they tore a bunch of plants down, and instead of me just going, wow, I can't wait for them to get that off the front yard, I looked at them, I said, thank you. Then they'll go back into whatever they are, and they'll grow something else, and they'll do that, and we'll just keep growing and growing and growing because we are nature. I'll see you in the morning. See you in the morning. Just think of me when you wake up tomorrow morning, and you come out and you go, oh, it's a brand new day. Patrick's having a vulnerability hangover just about now. I love you all. I'm looking out at you. You are absolute, the most greatest expression of nature that could possibly be. Do you know that? Do you know how lovable you are? Do you know, yes. Give yourself a hug just for a minute, just to, oh my gosh. The other day I just went like this and I went, oh my God, if you're gonna have a vulnerability hangover, you might as well have it while you're hugging yourself. That's all I got to say. I love you all. Namaste.
I'm sure they're doing something, but that's okay. Here they come. Is everything okay? Yeah, yeah.
Were you discussing my message today?
All right. This is our time to give back to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. So thank you for your donations today. They make a difference. They matter. Take my word, they matter a whole lot. No matter what they are, we are appreciative and grateful, and it helps the center to go forward and to continue to be here on the island and in the world. So our little affirmation is just simply this: I choose to give freely and I graciously receive. I choose to give freely and I graciously receive. And thank you to everyone online. Thank you, thank you.
Circulate. Circulate.
We have to
Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love.
kids.
Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. And it returns to me. Multiply abundantly. I circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. Circulate my joy right now. Circulate my joy. And it returns to me. Multiply abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
Is that it?
Circulate my gift right now. Circulate my gift.
Where's she doing?
Circulate my gift right now. Circulate my gift. And it returns to me. Multiply abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
So I take this moment just to say thank you. I'm so grateful for these donations, grateful for what comes in online, grateful for what comes in all month long and sustains the center and sustains each and every one of us and in this center to enjoy it and to live. And I know that whatever we bring to the table here in consciousness in the physical form of money is just blessed and goes out to heal and prosper and bless our planet and comes back to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. I circulate my love. Oh, I'll circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. And it returns to me. Multiplied abundantly.
Thank you, Kyla and Louise.
Okay,
Thank
we
you.
do not have our young masters today, but I think we should still bless our inner child, don't you?
And we should thank Leslie for holding
We should
space.
thank Leslie for holding space. I don't know what's happening with our children, but I know they are coming. He is
Right.
not he's not our young masters any longer. He's our young, Orion's our young, brilliant, intelligent man back there on the video there.
So let's just take it. Well, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. This is your inner child. You ready?
You are amazing.
amazing.
You are perfect.
You are magnificent. And we love you. I love you. So There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here because I want to focus on one really today. But check out our table back there. They have everything that's going on for the next 3 years. No, for the rest of the month. So, and then the other thing is to introduce that the, our annual, it's our fifth now, annual telethon is coming up November 16th. Is online. We've been doing it very successfully. It was birthed during the start of COVID. So that's the 16th. And the reason I'm bringing it up today is if you have any interest in volunteering, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. And it's not about what you're going to be doing. It's just that if you have some time on that day that you would like to volunteer, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff going on. And we have incredible things lined up, do we not?
Yes.
And then we have that, and then we used to do 9D breath work.
All right, so Reverend Dr. Eric Overholtzer, who did the 9D breath workshop here, is coming back on the last Saturday in September. What is it, the 28th? 27th? Whatever the last Saturday is. The last Saturday.
28th.
Yeah, you're coming. I saw your name.
28th.
From 10 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock. Those that participated in the last time had a very amazing, breathtaking experience. And he's bringing all his equipment with him. And if you don't know what 9D breath is, just go online. You can find it. It's a national organization teaching thing that they do and take all over the place. And he's coming with his headsets and
so
his
it'll be a
meditation.
different
It'll be a
It'll be the
different
same
program
format
than last time.
right
It's not
here.
going to be the same
It's
thing.
excellent.
So just if you need to sign up for it, you need to do it soon because we're filling up and we can only take 45 people max.
40 people.
40 people max.
There we
Anyway,
go.
So
There you go.
Yeah.
And then we have something happening this week, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Yes.
Not a whole bunch of other stuff. So this week is our Aid Africa and fundraiser. And so I didn't get this to Susan, but I'm going to bring her up. But I just want to let you know, what is this? Water. Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, it is water. It is water. Now, you see, wow. Beautiful, clean water. That's what we're doing Thursday. We're going to bring some nice, clean water by building a well, not me personally or anybody in this room, but maybe Susan. But that's what we're doing is we're building a well so that they're not having to walk miles and miles. But I'm going to I told her, only give the logistics for this week. If you have not paid for the ticket to get in this Thursday, please do so because we're buying food. It is $30 to come in. She's going to tell you all about the rest of it. But please do it today so that we know how much poo-poos yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, this money is going to build this well. We need
Right.
$2,500 or a little bit more to build the well. And it's going to be the CSL well in Africa. So,
And we want to thank the people online that are off island that have already sent in some things and checks are coming in. We are now at 1,600. And that includes the tickets that have been bought already. So we're $900 away
from one well
for this incredible Gulu, Africa.
Come on up.
So we're going to bring up our wonderful suggester of this lovely outfit.
Thank you.
She's on number 2. This is Susan Wood, and this is her passion. Go for it.
So I have a question, Patrick.
Yes.
Did your wife have to walk half a mile with a jerry can to a dirty, soggy, mosquito-ridden hole in the ground and then come home and strain that out and boil it for you so that you could have clean water? Did that happen?
Well, no, it did not, because it was right here. I could have more if I wanted it right now.
But if you were in Uganda, that might have been the story. And it wasn't the husband. Excuse me, that's a little feminist there coming out in me. So, yes, we are having a fundraiser. Our goal is to put one clean water well in a village that doesn't have a car, that doesn't have flushing toilets, that doesn't have a push a button, the stove comes on. It has nothing. And we're going to just give a little bit. And I am so, so, so grateful for each one of you that have purchased a ticket, that will purchase a ticket today. You can purchase it at the door if you so want to. Angela will be taking care of that. I'm so grateful for the people that aren't going to be on the island and have left a donation, or that I've guilted into giving a bigger donation. Thank you to you people that have participated in this. It is such a wonderful thing. I was reading, and of course I don't have my glasses, in Michael Beckwith's book this week. I like to reread books that I have on my shelf. And he talked about that we don't know why some countries and islands and centers are abundant, affluent, with money, with things, and some people are born into just poverty. Millions of people are born in poverty. I know I can't help all those millions, but I know that together, in our own hearts, we can stop the wars, we can stop the poverty, we can change this world maybe one well at a time. And I'm really excited that we get to do this. I am so grateful to CSL Kauai and to each one of you that this is even an opportunity. I do get to be on the radio this week with Tracy.
At 1 o'clock?
At 1 o'clock on Thursday, or
Yay.
somewhere near there. I'm a little
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, Lord.
Wednesday,
I'll show up
Wednesday.
on time. I promise to show up on time.
I'll
She's
get
got
her.
Rita
Don't
with
worry.
her,
I've
so.
got her.
Wednesday, we get to talk about it on the island and invite people to come and share this fun party with it. So what are we going to do at this party? Poo-poos, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, whatever you want to call them. We will have some African food. Leslie is making some Rolex, which is an African street food, and one of our members is donating. There's a vendor on the island. It's providing some samosas and other couple appetizers for us. So come. We'll have some wine. We'll have some water with cucumber in it, little foo-foo water, some sparkling water. We'll just enjoy each other's company. Then we have African dancers and drummers that are going to perform for us. I will be giving you a little history of Aid Africa, how it started, why it started, a slideshow about the 4 areas that Aid Africa covers in Uganda, and then we're going to play African Bingo. It's going to be fun. I have some fun prizes that I brought back from Africa when I go, and yeah, I can participate in drilling a well. We'll show you some slides about how a well is manually drilled, and I'll show you the little sign that'll go on the side of that well that says donated by CSL Kauai. And so please come. We're going to have fun. It starts at 6 o'clock on Thursday, right?
Right.
6 o'clock on Thursday. And we'll try to get you out here at a reasonable hour. Depends on how much yelling at the bingo game we have.
Right.
So anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each one of you.
Right, and I think it's important to know, thank you so much for bringing this.
Thank you.
It's important to come at 6. The doors open at 1:15, because it's 6 to 6:45 is the appetizer, and then there's no food in here because you guys have been with us long enough. So we got to kind of keep on our schedule. So thank you. And though she loves to have people at the door because that's who she is, Rita and I would still like to know who's coming, because we would like to be able to know how much food to make. So
Right.
the
So
only
there won't
people.
be enough food if a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
show up.
but we hope they come from your show the next day. You never know. Okay, so any other questions? Go back there. Angela's waiting for you, and anything else?
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't think we have any practitioners here today besides Patrick and I, and we have to go back there and talk to people. But if you do need a prayer or something, come to us.
Right.
We're happy to treat with you, all right? So are we done?
Yes.
Yeah, let's thank our beautiful, can you just play softly in the background for a moment, just softly? We want to thank our people today, our beautiful people in service. Melissa Mojo, who was our practitioner, and she had to leave, yes, and did our meditation for us. Anna, Myers, and Yana, who are our Malama team. Sue and Angela, who are counting our beautiful donations right now. Ron Stover and Reverend Diane, who...
Reverend Diane in the kitchen.
Yeah, is in the kitchen. And Sue Wood, of course, in the bookstore, and Jonathan Lee on sound. Thank you, Jonathan, and Orion, and Charles. Thank you for learning the new technical stuff over there so we could move forward, and Leslie, who for holding space for our kids that were not here, but they're here in our hearts, right? And Angela Phillips, our administrator, and then of course Kyle and Louise. Yeah. So we'll just breathe into this beautiful closing song and just take a deep breath. And just know that we just take all this good energy that is us, that is the center, and bring it out into our world. And so it is. I'm grateful. Yay.
So it is.
All right, Kyle, take it away.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, we don't want your broken parts. Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. Not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Round of bullets hits my skin. If I wait today, I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades, reaching for the sun. We are warriors, yeah, that's what we'll become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. We are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, I'm gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 I know I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna drown them out, I'm gonna flood them now. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 marching on to the beat I found. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
Yeah.
Everyone, aloha. There's some muffins back there or something for you. So go back.